News, where I read to you headlines from a news feed. It's just headline news, and we talk about whatever happens to come up between these ears, between and among us. It's not news, it's just our notes on the news. It may be best based on having read the article, it may be based on being an expert on the subject matter, it may be based on just having read the headline. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. I may be being redundant, but I don't know. Today is the best day ever. Let us see. What's our Kwanzaa principle for, or what's our Kwanzaa Habaragani? What's the word for today? Let's see. Hey, Andres. Andres. How are you doing today? Hey, Sonia sees. Welcome on the chat, everybody. Oh, Nguzu. The Nguzu Saba. Today's Nguzu Saba, the Habaragani, the word for the day, the good news. Oh, this is a whole nother thing I done hit. Oh, Lord. Kuumba. Did I miss a day? Kuumba. This is one of my favorite words because of how it sounds. Kuumba. It sounds like creativity, and it is. It means creativity. Using creativity and imagination to make your communities better than what you inherited. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump getting nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize next year? I think anybody can make a nomination. We talked about it a few weeks ago when I first heard about it. I don't really have much thoughts about Zero. He's like I think sometimes it's necessary to talk about him in the context of something that may be relevant. But whether or not he gets a Nobel Peace Prize, whether or not some person has nominated him, it's neither here nor there for me. What do you think about it? Are you feeling a way about it? I love the idea, back to Kuumba, I love the idea of being conscious of trying to leave our communities better than we inherited. And I think that when I first encountered this principle, I'm like, good luck. I think when I first encountered this principle, I grew up kind of like conscious of like, don't litter, probably because, they propagandize children with all kinds of stuff. So that was probably some of the propaganda that I got as a child. But I also noticed that I think because of that, like, if I see, like, if my dog is messing with some garbage in the street, I'll just go ahead and pick it up and throw it away if there's a garbage can handy. And very often there is. So I try to leave every place better than I encountered it for the most part. And especially the space and the relationship that I have with people. I'm not saying that I'm 100% with it. But I do try to be increasingly conscious of, I should be nominated. Yes, I accept the nomination. May there be peace. I don't know. What is the standard? It's something in the backyard, y'all. It's not a rabbit. I remember Iron Eyes Cody with those fake tears. Don't litter. Oh, I don't even know who it was and how it happened, but I know I have this strong, like, if I see someone throwing stuff on the ground, I'm like, why are they littering? And I'm like, this is probably something that was like wired in before I was conscious of it. Not that I think it's good to litter, but it's like, I'm just like, don't they know they're not supposed to? It's like, it's so like intense. It's a coon. It might be. No, raccoons, I think, are light. This is dark. A coon in my yard. So, I invited to think about, as we're relating with one another, as members of our family, as members of our community, what legacies are we leaving behind? When we leave an interaction with someone, are they better for the interaction? Are they improved for the interaction? How can we add value to our family? How can we improve or the quality of the legacy that we're leaving behind to the next generation? How can we take the blessings and wealth that we've gotten from our previous generations and build on that to leave something better for the next generations of our family and our community? And, just in our interactions with each other, the requirements must be real low for him. Yeah, I think I read anybody could be nominated, but I can't remember. I can't even remember now. But yeah. And then the idea also of using our creativity and our imagination. So, one of the things I've been thinking about again a lot is the questions that we ask. So, just paying attention as much as we can to the questions that we ask. Hey, August Dreams, because the questions that we ask, the universe provides us the answers. So, if we ask, what's wrong with me? Why won't anybody love me? Then the universe is going to be like, well, you to this, you to that. Nobody wants you because, but if you say, what's right with me? What would so many people love about me? Then the universe is going to be like, oh, well, they love your smile, your charm, your sparkling personality. So we have to pay attention to the questions that we're asking, and sort of like be as we're asking questions, as we're inquiring. The questions that we ask are going to give us the fodder, maybe not fodder, but the material that we need to do the creative work that we have to do. And some of the creative work that we have to do is just in our own mind and how we perceive things and how we see the world. So that's Kaumba creativity. Let's see what the Buddha is saying today. What is the Buddha saying today? Does anybody here have a meditation practice? I've been thinking, it's come like real hard back into my consciousness to re-engage my practice. So I think last week I did 1 hour sitting. Well, the week before I think I did one. Last week I did two. So maybe my goal for this week will be to do three 1 hour sittings. Improve my discipline and my concentration, my ability to focus on what's important and to focus on what matters. Okay, so let us see. Oh, shoot, I'm in the wrong thing. Let's see what the Buddha has to say today. If he has anything to say. Some of the daily words of the Buddha I really personally like, and some I'm just kind of like, And they loop around. So I don't know how many it is. It might be like 20 or 40, but you do loop back around to them. And I like the fact that it's in Pali. I like to be a person who learns other languages. Mind precedes all phenomena. Mind matters most. Everything is mind made. If with an impure mind one performs any action of speech or body, then suffering will follow that person as the cartwheel follows the foot of the draught animal. Oh, throughout 1 week. Yeah, my meditation community, the suggestion is that we do an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. Whenever I've come back from a retreat, that's what I end up doing. And then also a lot of places we have there's like a weekly sitting. So when I was in Toronto, I participated in the weekly sitting. That's really good just to help keep you, because most people in the world are like an hour of meditation. So we all have our own trouble. So it's like when when you are around other people who are meditators, it's an encouragement and it's a support for your own practice. So mind precedes all phenomena. Mind matters most. Everything is mind made. If with a pure mind one performs any action of speech or body, then happiness will follow that person as a shadow that never departs. So it's really, I like this one today because I really think that, the most important thing that we can do, the most important work that we can do, I think, is getting our mind right. Because like I feel like if you make up your mind, like when we made up our mind, look, I'm not gonna be enslaved, I'm about to get out of here. And again and again, we made that escape. We figured it out. We make up our mind, I'm not going to start. Then again and again, we continue to try. We start again. We restart. And sooner or later, soon enough, you will be successful. When you make up your mind, when you create something in your mind, when it's solid in your mind, it don't matter what you can see because your mind matters most. Thoughts are creative. All right. So we have given up. I think so. I mean, I don't know if we have totally given up, but I do think that, as a people, sometimes we feel demoralized. And in the past, I think that we've definitely had moments of feeling demoralized. And I think that, it's high time that we feel encouraged. And also, I think that depending on what you focus your energy on, there's been some research that's been done that says that, in terms of like our health, when, people are inclined to be more healthy when they have a more positive attitude. People are inclined to age in a more like productive way, like as in, being relatively healthy when they have a good attitude toward aging. Like I remember I had one great grandmother. She wasn't my my grandmother. She was like my sister's grandmother, but like my not sister by blood, but by my sister, whatever. Like my sister. Well, I had one grandmother who was like, oh, aging, aging. Oh, it's so awful getting old. Oh, it's so terrible. And it seemed like her experience of getting old was that. And I just always, kind of felt like other people had different attitudes toward it. And I wanted to have a good attitude toward aging. And now that I'm getting older, I think it's much harder than I thought. I thought, oh, just have a good attitude. It'll be better. But now I'm kind of like, ooh, this getting older, it's got some benefits and some perks and all of that, but it's got some challenges as well. Um, so yeah, that's it. Okay, let's see what's on the news feed. Y'all have any good news? Anything new and good in your personal life, in your family, in your community that you want to celebrate? Shout it out, put it on the stream, put it in the comments. Let's celebrate, let's acknowledge, let's bring our own good news. What's new and good? Oh, I went to my neighborhood bookstore today, or my local bookstore, black owned bookstore, and I spent some money. So I'm trying to work in increments of 10. So it was like at 26 something. So I bumped it up to 30. I think it was like at 28, and I bumped it up to 30. No, it was like at 29 because I was gonna get these 4 little chocolates because I like chocolate. And she's like, oh, you should just get the bar. And so that's what I did. I got the bar. So I spent $30 at the bookstore today. I got a new deck, but she didn't have any tarot decks that I was feeling. And so it's a whole different type of deck. And I've worked in my readings with other decks that are not tarot decks. And I sort of like it sometimes, just, it's a whole different vibration and it breaks the energy and different people are receptive to different things. And so, just the different ways we're able to connect with people. So that's new and good. So I got $30. So far, since I said I was going to spend $100 in 10 days, I don't think it's been $100 in 10 days. I think my 10 days may have expired, but I said I was going to make 10 visits or cause 10 visits to be made to black owned stores, spending, $10. Like $10 at the store. So really, I wanted to spend $100 with black owned businesses in 10 days. And it's really gotten hard on my, I'm really aware now, like, I don't like to spend money anyone. Hey, Grace. Hey, Grace. I don't like to spend money anywhere. Like, I just kind of feel like why? So, and I did start the process of researching. I'm gonna get a channel on Black Junction, or I'm gonna pay for the year. I think I'm gonna go get like a throwaway card. Just pay the $5 or $10 or however much they charge you for like those cards, and just pay for the year because I really don't like people in my accounts, even Black Junction. So I'm just gonna pay for the year. So I'm counting this 30 today. I'm figuring within the next 10 days, I'm gonna hit that 70. I think it's like $75 or something. So I'm gonna have my 100 because I had to reset because I don't spend money. So yay, that's my good news. You been to any good local community restaurants, any black owned businesses in your neighborhood that you want to shout out and celebrate? Any place you got your eye on, or any business that you'd like to do business with, or you've had a great experience with? Are you a black owned business? Are you a small local business owner? Let's spread the good news. Australia's Commonwealth Bank lost data of $20 million accounts. 20 million accounts, not $20 million accounts. So we've been talking about this in this country, how, these corporations, I don't know if they're real casual and loose with the data, but how there's data breach after data breach after data breach after data breach. Like, it's almost not a surprise. Like, oh, my information is just floating all over the internet. My name, my account number, my address, my social, who knows what information is out there. Who knows who could steal my identity? It's almost like it's not a surprise. You just expect it, or I just expect it almost in a way. So it's interesting to see this happening in another country. I guess we can assume that a lot of the things that we're experiencing here are not limited to this country. And the other thing that was interesting in the article is that they pointed out that this particular bank continued to charge fees on accounts of people that the bank knew had made their transition. They continued to collect money from people that they knew were dead. So that's like stealing money from the estate or from whomever. That's all. I used to like when I was a kid, it seemed like banks were like so respectable and honorable. I don't know if that was true or if they changed or if black owned bookstore, the underground. Where's the underground at? Whoop whoop. Where's the underground at? That's a good name. Former apprentice contestant issues subpoena for material from reality show in Trump defamation suit. So there's I think her name is Amber. I can't remember. I think she's like a blonde woman who was on The Apprentice in Chicago. The underground in Chicago, northwest, southeast. That's how the Chicago is organized. If you had the address, find the address, throw it up here. I don't know if we have any moderators on the chat. I gotta go to a whole computer to make a moderator. I gotta go to a whole computer to make a moderator. So things are proceeding, I guess, with, it's sort of like they say, the things that you do in the dark will come to light. I don't know if that's true. I would like to believe that. I tend to believe that. Sometimes it feels kind of difficult to believe, but, that's what's going on with that. I'm really interested. I imagine in my head that he's been doing that program for so long, or he did that program for so long, current President Zero, that there would be a lot of very interesting footage. Now, whether that footage would make a difference, I don't know, because it seems like didn't he say I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue in public and it wouldn't make any difference? I don't know if that's true, but sometimes it feels like that, don't it? Okay. Now, this dog is barking. The address is 1716 West 87th Street. That's a black-owned bookstore called The Underground in Chicago. So if you live in Chicago and you're not familiar, go visit. If you are familiar, go visit. If you are visiting Chicago, go visit. The Underground, the Underground, the Underground. Whoop, whoop. Okay. C.R. Patterson, an ex-enslaved person and his family built automobiles before Henry Ford. They called their line the Patterson-Greenfield. Now, I think Greenfield I think they were in Ohio, someplace in Greenfield was the Ohio. But, they ended up not being able to compete with Ford or whatever, so they went out of business. So the C.R. Patterson, have you heard of the Patterson car? Yay, thank you for listening. WGAE set to protest ITV's AGM against treatment of women and people of color. Great. All right, check back. Thank you. So I don't know all of these WGAE protests, ITV's AGM. It has something to do with people in the entertainment field, and I think the union is protesting the treatment, or maybe people are protesting the treatment of the union of people of color and women. I don't know. But I'm all for protesting when people are not being treated correctly. Now, I don't know if it's like every but I do feel like I'm not sure if it's always a protest, but I do think that, it's important to stand up for yourself and important to stand up for the things that you believe in. So however, spirit guides you to do that, then I'm here for it, more or less. I just learned that dry cleaning was created by a man. Okay. Now I'm like weird about chemicals, but we're creative. Kuumba. That's the word for today. The Habargani, Kuumba, creativity. Police storm Las Vegas gunman's room in body cam video. So the man who killed the people, I think it's been like October. Was it October? It seems like so much happens in the world, it gets disorienting. But I think it was in October. Was it the Mandalay Bay Hotel or something? And he was like up in a room and people were at a concert and he shot a whole bunch of them with semi-automatic weapon that had been altered to be more like an automatic weapon. I think it was like 50, 60 people who he killed. So they are now releasing, it appears, the body cam video of the police storming the room that he was in. Kim Kardashian says she's lobbying Jared Kushner, that's the president's daughter's husband, to get presidential pardon for woman serving life in prison over drugs. Now, this woman that they're lobbying for is a woman of color. I'm not really quite sure who she is. I sort of got the impression, I skimmed the article, that like she was like going through a tough time, and she said she made some decision. It was the worst decision of her life, and so I don't know if she was selling drugs, doing drugs, just connected to some people who were doing drugs, but life in prison seems like quite a bit. That animal is still sitting there. It's pretty still, too. I think it's an animal. Maybe it's a tree stump that I never noticed until right today. India dust storms, nearly 100 killed in Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan. So I think we heard the other day about a lightning storm. Was it in India? There was a lightning storm someplace, and it was a whole, like, people made their transition, but it was like a lot of lightning strikes above and beyond the normal. And someone had suggested that there are these machines that create weather that are not commonly known about, not commonly discussed. Some people say it's a conspiracy. It's not true. I don't know, but it seems unusual. And then this dust storm, now the imagery, it looked like a rainstorm. So I was kind of like confused. Like, I don't really know how a dust storm works, but I think some of the people who were killed because it happened in the nighttime, and I guess they didn't hear it coming, and so walls and things fell down on people, like in their homes. That's what I think happened. German nurse kidnapped in Somalia. So this is a person who was supposed to be like an aid worker or something, and I guess Somalia had the reputation of being a difficult place, or a problematic place, or an unsafe place for AIDS workers, the charity type people, the non-governmental organization, non-GMO, nonprofit organization type people who come into these communities to help. It had a reputation for being a problem for the white people to come in. But then it had gotten better. And now, I guess with this happening, they pulling people out. So, I don't know what's up in Somalia, but I don't know. I guess may we all be safely at home with our families and able to continue to develop and grow, and walk our spiritual path and become better people. Even the German nurse who was kidnapped in Somalia, who I don't know anything about her, but I wish that may all beings be happy. So may she be happy too. Chinese Nobel widow Liu Xia ready to die at home in protest. So I think her husband won the Nobel Peace Prize. Let us see. And it's been some, there's been some political, the Chinese government kind of has a reputation for being a little rough. I hear there is a Somalia and a Somaliland, two different countries. Yeah, I heard that as well. I heard that Somaliland is not officially recognized as another country, but that they have broken off. We've talked about it a few times, because there was something else, and I can't remember what it was. Dang. But I was kind of interested in it, in the whole Somaliland thing. And I looked on my map, and I don't think there was a Somaliland. This man has been she's been under house arrest. She's 57 years since her husband was awarded the Nobel Prize. So we don't know he was a Peace Prize winner. She's never been charged with any crime. So they just like, you arrested, you stay here. She's like, what's my crime? They like, shut up, you arrested, you stay here. Her husband was Liu Xiaobo was one of China's foremost pro-democracy campaigners and a fierce critic of the state. He died last year while serving an 11-year jail sentence for subversion. There's been a growing concern for her. She's suffering from depression. She's said to be, after spending years under heavy surveillance, and her friends and lawyers say they believe that she is being held incommunicado. Well, that's weird. Incommunicado means they can't communicate with her. Don't they know that they can't communicate with her? They believe she's being held incommunicado. Maybe they don't know if she won't communicate with them. Maybe she's just depressed and won't communicate with them, they think. Or do they think that we trying to communicate with her, but they stopping the communication. It's isolation is something, and we need each other. Most of us are human beings, and we need community. We need other people. We need to have relationships. And so putting somebody in isolation is kind of like it's cruel. It's cruel. It's cool to, meditate for an hour a day here or there, but we even do that in community. When I go to a 10-day course, it's a community. When I serve a 10-day course, I'm there to help the people because we love the people. I want to help you meditate. I help you able to be successful in advancing on your spiritual path without having to be concerned about, I want your sole concern for these 10 days to be this spiritual work that you've come here to do. We need people. So, the isolation is not, good. She's a free citizen. The grief induced by her husband's death has prevented her from getting in touch. And, losing, when people make their transitions, that's really tough. And that's part of, our communities and our families help us get through, the tough times too. I'm ready to die here. If I'm dead, it'll all be done with. That was a phone conversation where she was crying for several minutes and saying that. So I guess what they're trying to do is, like, by doing stories like this, I guess they're trying to increase awareness of her so that people can fight on her behalf. They did something similar with Meek Mill. I noticed that, like, it seemed like to me, like all of a sudden there was like story after story. This person went to meet him. This person went to meet him. And it's sort of like, I don't quite understand how, organizing works at that level. Like, so somebody got, hey, governor, would you come visit Meek Mill? I want you to meet this person. I want you to understand their story. Hey, famous person, come visit. Like they did it so that then those people could do press conferences, and it's in the press, it's in our attention. And we're like, free Meek Mill, or, this person in China. Like, it raises awareness and consciousness. Transgender inmate says she was raped amid prison lawsuit. The whole gender thing is really, because I feel like you could be like a man who's raped. It sounds as if she's being held against her will. Yes, it does. It most certainly does. Because you could be a man who's raped in prison. Some people believe there's no such thing as transgender. You could be a woman who's raped. Like, it just seems like the whole, there's so many like brutal things that we can encounter in the world. But I guess I personally feel like I can mostly speak to my own identity. Hey, True Royal. I went back and listened to your show yesterday. I was partying at the beginning, but I had to leave. I just try to, I feel like I can't tell you who you are and what God has said to you. So I can only, I have to try to deal with who I am and what God has said to me and, what I understand. And I feel like trying to honor and connect with God's instructions to me is a big job. So I don't know if I have like a lot of time and effort and energy to be concerned about what other people are doing. I feel like if I don't know, I just know what God said to me. So I don't know. But I don't like to hear about, hey, thank you for the like. I don't like to hear about anybody being raped or violated. That's Black Founders Matter. That's the name of an organization I got. Yeah. I'm trans chocolate. No, I'm not turning into chocolate, or I don't believe that I'm chocolate on the inside. I don't know. I'm concerned about deception. That's all. Yeah. And I feel like everybody it's not a criticism, and it's just, I just try to, like, I feel like everybody has their lane. Everybody has their perspective, and I honor and I respect that. I feel like for me, it's all, I'm like, if that's what your heart tells you, then okay. What am I going to do? No, God didn't say that to you. People in building businesses, sort of like not an angel investor. There's another term for it when people, are like, they have money and then they put that money into other businesses. That's so wrong. They put that money into other businesses. A lot of times, if you do have a lot of money, just sitting the money in the bank, or, like, it's like almost, it doesn't quite make sense, because you end up losing money, or there's an idea, a belief in the loss of money when it does that. So your money is going to make the most money when it's out there working, and the best return you can get is by investing in businesses. So a lot of people, like that TV show The Shark Tank, they're like investing their money in businesses, because if you can get a 40% return, a 20%, if you can get, that's going to be way better than a lot of other things. So I like the idea of people focusing on raising money in order to invest in Black businesses. So yeah, and I feel like, we're talking today about Kuumba and creativity, and I feel like when we see a need, when we see something that, is needed, and we can create a business to address that need, to serve our community, to serve one another, that's a beautiful thing. And if someone's can support us in it, on both ends on it, on the creation and the patronizing, that's good too. So the U.S. town that's coming off of Moguldom, and I told y'all this is some new blog that's just, I don't know why it's showing up on my feed, but it just started showing up on my feed. And some of their articles seem to go through Engadget too. The U.S. town prepping for devastating disaster. I don't remember what that was. Dozens affiliated with white supremacist gang arrested on drug charges in Texas. I didn't even read that story. It's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. Savannah plane crash. 9 feared dead in Georgia as aircraft goes down. So we talked about that yesterday. I don't know why maybe because it was on another. I don't know why I put it back on the news feed for today. Maybe I wanted to say more about it, but right now I told y'all what I think or what I'm curious about. Like, did somebody operating the computer remotely take that military plane down, like in China or Russia? I don't know. Reality check. Are journalists increasingly under attack? We've been talking about this, and I think it's interesting that because we have been talking about it, it's almost like I was programmed to get this impression that journalists are under attack, and then boom, here's a headline saying that because I'm like, I never even thought about journalists. Now all of a sudden it seems like all the journalists are under attack, being killed, murdered. The Zero yelling at them and calling them whatever he be calling them. Texas principal heartbroken after her thoughtless comments about Black special needs student stirs backlash. Now I think this is the person we gonna use that loosely, who said something like, if the child is running away, then we'll call the police. And it was some weird thing like, we'll call the police and the police will shoot them, or some crazy disrespectful stuff. So I don't know. I guess we've been talking about this sorry not sorry, I don't want your apology, keep it. I don't believe it. And the headline says that the principal is heartbroken. Yeah, I don't believe that. And then especially I feel like you're an educator, you're a leader of a school. It's not like you're like a 7-year-old. Sometimes I feel like 7-year-olds can be thoughtless with what they say. And also I feel like adults can be thoughtless with what they say. But I feel like when you're a principal and you're in leadership, that teachers are looking at you, students are, so you're going to be hyper conscious about what you say, especially at work. So I don't believe it. I don't, keep it. Zachary Cruz, brother of Parkland school shooter, arrested again. So this is the brother who he was Black, or he is of African descent, or mixed race, or I don't know how he identifies, but they don't make mistakes, right? They doing that on purpose. So I don't know how he identifies, but he had been arrested, and he was like on he was on the grounds of the school where his brother had shot up the people, and then they arrested him, and he said, I just came here to think, and they put him on house arrest or something. I don't even remember the details of it, but it is interesting. Now I don't know if the white shooter boy had a white brother, if they would be on him as hard as they are on this little brown child, but they are on this brown child intensely. I mean, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not really clear on if he's exhibiting. I don't know what's going on, and I'm inclined. I guess my first thought is like, it's because he's brown, but I don't really know the details. But like, again, he's arrested, and I feel like they so hard and hot and heavy on this child is probably however many of them out here planning to try to kill some more of us right now, they need to be hot and heavy on. But of course, they're on their agenda, not my agenda. Texas woman arrest. Oh, we talked about that. So we loop back around to the beginning of the news feed. Um, so I'm gonna actually end it there. I didn't have I'm just kind of getting things in where I fit them in. Today I want to have a chat. I'm trying to get it in about relationships and dating. And I have this girlfriend, this sister who has this theory about which I have been fascinated by, about women are either hoes, pros, or VPs, vaginal politicians. And so I just want to chat about that today and, share my thoughts on it. And, so I'll be back with that shortly. I was told to go to All Africa. I went out today looking for, I thought it would be easy. White woman still on the run with the 16-year-old. The last I heard, she was. I haven't heard any updates on that. Yesterday when we talked about it, I don't know, but I realized they were from Hattiesburg, which is where I live. I went to the bookstore and to the library looking for, I thought I could find like a children's book on Africa. I really went to the Black-owned bookstore hoping to find something written by a Black person, like a children's book on Africa, which would have like a country, a page or every other page or whatever. But everything is like, I couldn't find really what I was looking for. I was looking for Africa A to Z, but I didn't find it. But the sister at the bookstore recommended that I do All Africa. So I think we're on Cape Verde today. Al-Kibalan, All El-Kibalan. And I think we're on Cape Verde today. So I'm gonna pull up a little bit. We have a little bit of a cushion because we didn't go as long as usual. Is a stable Cape Verde, and I'm not sure if it's Cape Verde, Verde. I don't know, but I think if it looks like green, like in Spanish it would be green or something greenish, and I think it might be some Portuguese type language that that name is dealing with. Is a stable democracy. The Cape Verde Constitution, adopted in 1980 and revised in 92, 95. Right. Today I was like, I need to write a book. I figured those would be out there. I was surprised. And I also tried to order, I was going to go on Amazon and order Ajali Shabaz's Your Radical Home Sister and Radical Home Sister 2. I was going to order her This Black. Brother Ayapo had suggested. I thought it was a good idea. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll go to the bookstore, through the Black-owned bookstore, because maybe that'll give 2 layers of support to Black businesses. And they were like, they gave me the name of a resource, but they said basically Amazon and independent Black bookstores don't really mix. But they said that there is a company, and I meant to bring the card over here. I'll bring it over for tomorrow. That basically, so for those of you who are self-publishers who, have written books, I want us to follow up and get in touch with them, because they say they put it on the shelves of independent stores. And a lot of times when you go into an independent store, they're recommending things to you. They're telling you things. It's a whole different experience from shopping on Amazon. I know the computer does make recommendations. I don't even have an Amazon account because years ago they're like, what's your code? And I'm like, I don't remember my code. I just want to give you money. Why do I have to go through all of this to give me money? You're getting on my nerves. Forget it. I'll never buy anything from you again. So whenever I'm in a position where I have to, from the Cape Verde Islands, how do you pronounce it? Verde, Cap Verde. There's a singer I really like. So whenever I feel like I have to get something on Amazon, I can't get it no other way, then I use my mother's account. I just give her the money and tell her to buy this. I'm not a big Amazon person. So when I thought it would be easy to find what I was looking for, but today I'm like, oh, it's not easy. I don't know if there's a mark. Most of the tarot cards that are of color and not like black. And I want some blackety black tarot cards, and I want like a variety of them. And Mama Yana, she don't go by that name. Janet Jones was saying, well, Black people don't really do a lot of tarot. She was giving this whole explanation, and I'm like, We need some, like, a lot of varieties, because different cards speak to different people. But I don't know. So yeah, I was kind of like, I've been wanting to, just for my own. Like, I did start the process with a group of each of us developing our own tarot cards, but I really haven't been studying long enough. I really don't think I've been studying long enough to develop them, but I'd love to facilitate, the development of that from some students, not just artists, but like, maybe a collab, but I don't know. Um, so yeah, that book, Africa A to Z, like a geology book, I think geography book, I think that would be very interesting. Okay, so Cape Verde is a stable democracy. The Cape Verde Constitution, adopted in 80 and revised in 92, 95, and 99, forms the basis of government. The president is the head of state and is elected by popular vote, 5-year term. What I've noticed is, we've been talking about these countries in Africa, that quite a few of them have 5-year terms, and it seems I don't know why it seems weird that it's weird, but I'm like, why is it 5 and not 4? Because in this country we have 4, and I just feel like that's the norm. Like, but I don't know why it's like it. Like, I'm like, why is it 5? I mean, yeah, why is it 5? So anyway, Cape Verde's climate is milder than that of the African mainland because the island is surrounded by the sea. Temperatures are generally moderate. Average daily high temperatures range from 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius. Do y'all follow Celsius? Like, if I had said Celsius, would you have known? In Canada, they do Celsius, and I get so confused. Um, in January, so 77 degrees Fahrenheit in January to 84 degrees in September Fahrenheit. The Cape Verde archipelago is kind of like a, like, sort of kind of island, but not quite. It's connected, right? Is located approximately 375 miles off the coast of West Africa. Oh, so it's not connected. It is composed of 10 islands, of which 9 are inhabited. I had no idea. I thought it was one island. I had a girlfriend that I went to school with whose family, I think on one of her sides, was from the Cape Verde Islands. Hey, thanks for the likes. It is composed of 10 islands. The islands have a combined size of just over 4,000 square kilometers. So is that 2,000 square miles? I don't know. The Republic of Cape Verde, Portuguese Cabo Verde, IPA, I don't know what that means, is a republic located on the archipelago in the Macronesia ecoregion. Macronesia. So Micronesia, I need to have my map here. Micronesia. Okay, yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, have I heard of Micronesia? For some reason I was thinking about, like, it's a cardinal in the backyard. For some reason I was thinking about on this side of my map, like, above Australia, but there's like a whole bunch of islands there. And that's where you find those, like, dark people with the blonde hair who, that's what I was thinking of Micronesia. And this is Macronesia. Now I need to look that up. Ecoregion of North Atlantic Ocean off the western coast of Africa. The previously uninhabited islands were discovered and colonized by, I don't know who. Today is not the day for me to be fill in the blank. How about today is the day for me to? Today is the day for me to prosper. Today is the day for me to be happy. Today is the day for me to love deeply. Today is the day for me to eat well and take care of myself. Hey, conscious of genocide, COG, a cog in the wheel. Today is not the day for me to be sexually frustrated. Woo. It's raining outside. It's like a weird humid climate here, or temperature here. It's like cool, but it's warm. It's a lot going on. Warm, dry summer. National holiday is the 5th of July. That's their Independence Day. Centered on, okay, it's governed on, okay. So let me see what All Africa has to say about it. Why isn't it called All Alkebulan? allafrica.com. She said that might be a better resource for you. I still don't have what I wanted. What I still haven't found allafrica.com. So what are you all looking forward to? People who came into the chat late, what's new and good? Hey, I saw your new t-shirts. Put your email here, True Royal Family, so I can order one. Put the email in the price so we can all order one. You started it? What's new and good? Oh, allafrica.com. The evolution of ethnicity in East Africa, Nigeria, China signed currency swap deal. Mangufuli orders probe into US 3.5 million. 1717mac@gmail.com. Okay, so that's where we email you to order. I don't use what's that thing everybody use to pay? I'll send you a check or I'll send you a check or like a credit thing. I don't do a lot of that, but the bling bling lifestyle of Swazi royalty. Nigeria's Malaye charged with attempted something. Kenyan teachers struggle to remove something. I'm trying to find the countries. Let's see. I wonder if this is like all countries worldwide. I have a PayPal. I don't do PayPal. That's what I was trying to say. I don't do that thing that everybody does. That's wrong, right? North, south, east, west. So it's like on the West African coast. So I guess I'm going to look there. There it is. Oh, I didn't have a picture or a map or the flag or anything. Maybe it'll be here. Top headlines. I think I did go to this site. You'll send it to me for free? Wow. That's exciting. I love free things and I'll wear it. Angola, Cape Verde and Angola established strategic partnership. I don't know what the strategic partnership is, but we love a strategic partnership. I love strategy and I love partnership. I love a strategic partnership. Liberia faces Cape Verde in WAFU U20 draw. I have no idea what that means. Oh, maybe that's something athletic. That's probably athletic. Cape Verde, how the island nation is fighting dengue fever. Any color you like. Ooh, I like pinks. I don't know if that's my color though. I wear a lot of pinks. I like a lot of pinks. But sometimes there's this like royal blue that people say looks good on me. I don't think I like this for what I'm trying to do. So what's up? That's basically all I have. Our principle for today was Kuumba, creativity. Using our creativity to be of service to our family and our community and to leave our family and our community better than we found it. That's like a bad paraphrase, but you get the idea. Kuumba. 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 All right. So I might have time to do my chat quicker than I thought. You're in YouTube jail. You free. You is free. You is free. You free. YouTube can't put you in jail. YouTube ain't boo-boo. On both channels. And I think that the person you were talking about, I didn't get to listen to the video, but I'm like, I think this is the person who I had read some headline. Oh, just on one channel. Okay, so this is the flag. It's like blue. It's basically all blue, and then it has like a white stripe in the bottom third, and then in the middle of the white stripe is a red stripe, and then there's like a circle of oh wait, or is that the car? Let me go to the Wikipedia. I'm about to buy me 2 pairs of Chucks. I spent on these effing cars. I'm about to order me a shirt. I will do the video on Black Junction TV. Yeah, I was saying I'm gonna you're in Whitey jail. Okay, yeah, so that's good. So that's the flag. Then there are a bunch of yellow stars. So I don't know if y'all can see it, but that's the flag of Cape Verde. And, oh wait, here they'll tell us how to pronounce it. Oh no, that's the anthem. We don't want to hear the anthem. Do we want to hear the anthem? Independence from Portugal. Okay. Culture. Let's look at the culture. This is coming off of Wikipedia. A very musical people. I think there's this one woman artist who I used to like who was from Cape Verde. But I can't think of her name offhand. And my CD collection, CDs are like obsolete, and I probably have a million someplace. I don't even know where they are. Media. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait. Maybe this is her. Yep. Cesaria Evora. Cesaria Evora. Oh, I used to love her. Now that I have her name, I'm going to Google her. I'm going to YouTube her and listen to some of her music. Cesariaevora. Cesaria Evora. It was like all like energy. I love the energy of it. They're known for their musicality, well expressed by popular manifestations such as the Carnival of Mindelo, whose importance makes the city known in the days of the Momesque celebrations as Brasilim, or Little Brazil, incorporates African, Portuguese, and Brazilian, hey Frank G, influences. I wonder, I guess Brazilian, because I think of Brazil as African, European, and the native folks that were down there who maybe some people would argue are African. A Queen's Dream. All right. So that's it for the notes on the news today. It's 4:25. So I'm probably gonna come back. You can't what? My husband sing or dance. My husband can't sing or dance. Oh. I'm gonna come back, and Mama True Royal, if you can make it, come join the chat talking about relationships and men and women. Are you a hoe, a pro, or a vaginal politician? A hoe, a pro, like you've been to the Pros Institute, or a VP? That's what I'm gonna come back with. And are you, as a man, if you're deal with women, do you deal with a hoe, a pro, or a VP? Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's kick it. I got a couple minutes. Okay, cool. None of the above. Well, when you come in, you tell me what you think. We're going to talk in a minute. But that's what I have today. Today is the best day ever. I don't know if I missed any critically important news stories, but I followed you, fam. The most important news is that, you here and you surviving and you thriving and you loving your people. And we loving our people, and your people love you. I deal with a good female. There are, and I don't like. I think that there's a. I don't want to. I don't think that there's like. I'm not calling the whole. It's not like I don't have a negative connotation. Like, I feel like it's just where we are in our consciousness. It's just how we move, what our vibration is. So I feel like you can have good women who are hoes, pros, and VPs, and you can have women who have issues who are hoes, pros, and VPs. So. But I just want to explore it, chit chat about it. So today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. And it's not an accident that we're here, right now, virtually, literally, later on, watching on replay. It's all on purpose. We're royalty. Yes, we're royalty. And it's all in divine order. It's all divine love. We are loved and supported. You are loved and supported and respected. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for being fabulous. Peace. Did I miss anything? Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Hey, Rod, come back for the next chat. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Yes.